And my first guest in the studio with me is Bob Lorsch. He is the CEO of MMR Global Incorporated. MMRF is a stock symbol. Bob, good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Now, it's been glad to have you here. Now, been a couple weeks since you've been on the program. What's new with the company?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, as you know, our primary business is personal health records and emergency preparedness systems. And in the wake of what happened on the East Coast with the 5.9 earthquake and the impending hurricane, which looks, this morning winds were over 130 miles an hour, Irene, we have aggressively been promoting the idea of people getting prepared by opening up a mymedicalrecords.com account or mysafedepositbox.com account with a special promotion code by the name of Irene.
Okay.
So that they can go in, set up an account, try it for free, set up the service, and have everything secure in a safe environment in the event this disaster becomes a lot more of a disaster than anybody bargained for.
So basically, just go to your websites, type in the promo code Irene, and they can get a special offer.
Go to the website, sign up. At some point in the sign-up process, it'll ask you for a registration code. Use the registration code Irene. It triggers a free trial to get you through the drama and the immediateness of the hurricane, and then you can decide whether you want to keep the product.
Well, now I know that you've been taking a lot of phone calls lately. You're basically, MMR has been in the news. You had announced a lawsuit on this program a few weeks ago against Beverly Hills reality stars Russell and Taylor Armstrong. I know that you have not chosen to participate in what has become a media circus, but from a business standpoint, can we just kind of go back and talk about what the lawsuit's all about?
Russell Armstrong was introduced to me in late 2005, early 2006, and wanted to start an electronic medical records company, and came to me for, amongst other things, financing and operations and people. It took a while, but I realized at that point in time, with the impetus of the Bush administration on electronic medical records, that nobody out there was focused on the patient in a personal health record. So he came along with approximately $800,000 worth of capital, and I agreed to build him a personal health record portal. And throughout 2006 and for about a month into 2007, his job was to do investment banking and raise money for the company, and my job was to operate, run, and build the company, which is what happened.
Okay. Now, of course, this news media circus, in the wake of his taking his own life, the company, back to the business end of it, you've claimed $1.5 million in damages. They're saying they're broke. Do you still think there's an opportunity to collect damages?
Well, what happened was that what we found out in 2007 is Russell was not only raising money for My Medical Records, but he was raising money for a company called NDS. He was raising money for a restaurant called Bezo. He was raising money with his wife for a design company that was going to do special events and invitations and baby clothing. And there were a lot of things going on. And what he was doing is raising money for these companies and not giving it to the companies.
I see.
However, those amounts that he was raising were in the millions of dollars. I mean, significant million-dollar figures. And Russell was a guy who would always brag about the fact that he knew how to raise money, never worry about money getting into the company. But on the personal side, he was always aware enough to hide his money in offshore trusts and offshore accounts. And so I do believe that there's money hidden somewhere. In fact, in at least one case, we have checks, one of which is signed by Taylor to an offshore trust, which was set up by him and her at the time they got married.
Okay, now, in the wake of this, of course, this is involving Hollywood, so it's become, as we said a moment ago, just this absolute media circus. But with Russell no longer being with us, deceased, why is the lawsuit continuing?
At the time, we discovered a misappropriation of monies that was being given over to Russell and Taylor by investors. This was, or at least it appeared to be, a coordinated effort between Russell and Taylor. I do not believe that she was an innocent housewife, for lack of a better phrase. And as a result, when we reached a settlement with them, with the Armstrongs, which rescinded 60% of the shares of the company so that people they had taken money from could get what was due them, she had to sign the settlement agreement as a responsible party, along with his trustee. So in the event we had to ever communicate with the trust, we had a written signature on behalf of the trust. So when we settled this case, we had Russell sign, Taylor sign, and the trust sign, which is why we'll pursue this case. Last night on Nancy Grace, it was actually discussed that she's receiving as much as $2 million in connection with her activities in the show. I don't know if it's true, but I do believe that there's a lot of money lying around that they're not talking about.
Now, of course, this whole drama, this Hollywood drama, is going to dissipate as Hollywood moves on to the next big story. So in the meantime, how's the company doing?
Great. It is the fastest growing personal health record, to my knowledge, in the world. We have received a tremendous amount of interest in our products and services as a result of people learning about mymedicalrecords.com. And as far as I'm concerned, in the health IT space, with hundreds of billions of dollars on a worldwide basis from governments coming at the industry, this is one of the best investment opportunities and undervalued companies in health information technologies.
Once again, MMR Global, MMRF is their stock symbol. Bob, appreciate you coming on and discussing this subject with us. I know it's sensitive, but appreciate the update.
You're welcome, and I look forward to seeing you again.